Today's video is a little bit different. I'm going to do a kitchen refresh. Our kitchen really needs a good cleaning, a good organizing, and I'm going to be painting our kitchen cabinets over the next few weeks, and I want to take you on the journey with me. Hi, my name is Cindy. I'm with Reinvented Delaware, and we love to reinvent and repurpose all sorts of home decor and furniture, and sometimes we like to refresh our rooms, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm taking you on the journey. Let's get started. Here's a wide view of our kitchen. We really spend a lot of time here, and I do love this space. We painted our cabinets about 10 years ago. I did a General Finishes dark gel stain on the bottom and then a General Finishes milk paint at the top. And these cabinets have served us well, and I really do still love them. They're solid oak cabinets. I just need a change. After about 10 years, I just think it's time for a change. Next step is to clean the cabinets, and to do that I'm going to use Dixie Belle's Pristine Clean. I really do love this stuff. It works really well. It takes a minimal amount of powder to a maximum amount of water. Really, it's 2 tablespoons of the powder. This is what it looks like. It's just a powder. You put 2 tablespoons in a full gallon of hot water. Now I only have a half-gallon jar, so I only used 1 tablespoon of the powder, and I poured it into this hot water that's here, and practically immediately it dissolved in there. We'll go ahead and give it a little stir, mix it around, and then when I'm ready, all I need to do is pour some in this sprayer bottle, and then I'll go around and spray the cabinets. I'll show you how I do that. To point out how to paint a paneled cabinet like this. You don't want to just start up here. You want to paint the insets first, and then you want to go in a certain order, and I want to show you how to do that. So you paint the insets first, and let me go ahead and do that. By the way, I'm using this spray bottle. This is Continuous Mist Sprayer by Dixie Belle, and it just dampens the surface and it makes the paint glide over the surface. So you'll see me using that several times. So here I'm just filling in all the spots on the panel. And then once I have all that done, I'll paint the inside of the panel. And I'm not using a lot of paint. You see, it doesn't take that much. In the direction of the grain of the wood. And just a real light feathery stroke. The next area that you should paint should be this area here. Now sometimes I get these out of order, but I'll show you, if you get out of order, I'll show you how to fix it. So I just lay on the paint, and if you'll notice, I'm brushing upwards around this corner. I'm not going this direction, because the paint would pull right there in the corner, and I don't want that to happen. So when I do that, you'll also notice that here I'm not going with the grain. So real quick, I'm just going to swipe that over so that it's going in the grain of the wood. And I'll go on and paint the center of it. And then the same up here. I don't want to go this way because I'll get a pull of paint right in that corner. So instead, I'm going to pull the paint down. And then I'll go over just lightly so that it's in the direction of the wood. The next two sections I'll paint are the top and the bottom. You might have noticed how I'm tapping the paintbrush. Let me show you exactly what I'm doing here. Let's see, can you see that? So along this edge here, if I get too much paint on there, it's either going to run on the side or it's going to run to the back. So what I like to do is I get a very little bit of paint on my paintbrush and I brush off most of it on the side of the can. And then I take my paintbrush and just tap. I'm tapping the paint on to get most of the paint on there without it running. So once I see that it's for the most part covered, and I'll do around the corner, these edges are curved, they're routed out in a curve, I'll go around that corner, then I can just take my paintbrush and just lay off that paint like that. This side, and where my finger is down here, I'll touch that again so that I know that it's covered. I'm gonna get some paint on. Again, down here, I'm being careful in the direction of the wood grain. Tap, tap, tap some of the paint on so I don't get runs, and then just lay it off like that. Simple as that. And then the last section will be right here. Let's move over here to get this corner, this edge. Can you see that? Whoop. There you go. Okay. And then back down here, sorry about that. Let's tilt this camera down. My screen went out. There we go. Now it's time to lighten up the look of the travertine tile backsplash that we have. You can see that I painted the wall below the cabinets in the same color that I painted the cabinets in the color saltwater, and I didn't like how the travertine tile color looked like next to the white wall. So I decided to make a wash of the silk paint that I used, saltwater, and I diluted it a lot. It's really, really thin, the consistency of milk. It's very thin. And I used a small artist brush. I painted it over each tile, and then I wadded up a piece of paper towel and I just dabbed off the excess, and I dabbed instead of wiping so that I could keep some of the texture on the tiles. And here's the finished look, and we're so thrilled with the color. We're so thrilled with the brightness that this light color brought our kitchen. You can see that I replaced all of the hardware. It's the same hardware. I just cleaned it really well and put it all back on. Made myself a little bit of artwork here. That's always fun to do. I'm so glad that I decided to lighten up the look of the travertine tile as well, because it just coordinates with the granite so well. You're going to notice a solid wood piece just below the sink. We'll see it better here in a minute. I gave the kitchen a really good cleaning when I was finished. It felt so good to scrub the counters really well and make sure I had removed any of the paint spatters that were there. Here's our little cafe. It's such a nice way to start the day. Every morning we get to see this bright, pretty area. Do you see that air fryer? I have a plan for that, so stay tuned. I am so excited to show you how I'm going to change the look of that air fryer. We use it a lot, but I'm not crazy about the colors, so we'll talk about that in another video. Let me tell you how I cleaned our granite countertops. I completely removed everything from the countertops and I scrubbed them thoroughly with a Scotch-Brite little, those little scratchers you use in your kitchen. And I made sure that I removed all of the paint spatters that were on the countertops. That's just part of painting. After that, I used my microfiber cloth and wiped them all down really well, and then I let them dry. And then I applied a coat of Howard's Wax It All. This is a wonderful product that can be used on surfaces like cutting boards and granite, wood surfaces, and it's food safe, so you don't have to worry about any chemicals. I have a video about how to maintain your cutting boards as well. I'll link it down below. You might notice that piece of wood just below the kitchen sink. I have a plan for that, so stay tuned and I'll let you know what I'm going to do with that. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, could you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel? I'd love to have you join us here. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.